I hope everyone's doing really well. I have a really exciting video for you guys today. Today I'm going to be doing like a going home checklist, end of day checklist. So these are all things that you should make sure are done prior to you leaving a clinical shift. So I have a little list here. I'm just going to go down it and I'll give it to you guys. It's really not a lot. Most of it is kind of common sense, but yeah. So the first one is, if it's in your scope of practice right now to be dealing with IVs and IV pumps, and this is applicable to you, if your patient has an IV that is running continuously throughout the day, so if you're infusing, let's say, 125 cc's of normal saline, then before you leave, you want to make sure that you have a full bag of normal saline on the pump ready to go if yours is running low a little bit. The last thing you want to do is let the night nurse come on and then have her need to go and put on a new bag because you didn't put a nice one. It's just nice, and it's a nice gesture to have there. Same thing goes with bladder irrigation bags. You want to make sure they're full, and there's an extra one there in case the night nurse needs to refill it, especially if you're just looking down. If you want to go an extra step, just replace that altogether. You want to make sure you clean up a patient's room before you leave. It's always a nice gesture that a nurse comes in and there's a nice clean patient room sitting there, and she doesn't have to clean up the bedside table or clean up anything else, or like dirty linens everywhere. So you want to make sure you clean everything up, empty laundry bags, maybe change the bed sheets. You want to make sure that patient's room looks really great, and not just for the nurse but for the patient themselves. It feels better when you're in a clean room than a messy one, for sure. You want to make sure all of your meds are given on time and are definitely given before you have to leave. You don't want to give the night nurse a big list of things to do when she gets on shift. She's going to have all of her own jobs and duties to deal with. She doesn't want to have to do the work that you were not able to do. So make sure you try to get all your meds done and finished, and that's something that you should always strive for. You want to make sure all your charting is done. Charting should be done throughout the day. When things happen, you should chart them. That's the ideal way to do it, but we all know that doesn't really happen that way. So you pretty much want to sit down and chart as soon as possible, and you definitely want to chart before you go home. You don't want to be running late because you're charting, and then the night nurse needs to look at the chart and read something, and then she can't because you're charting on it. So the student, you want to make sure all your charting is done even before your RN is done charting, because they're going to look to you and be like, oh, they're not done charting. So you don't want to become like, the little black sheep. So make sure you guys do your charting and get it done and write legibly. Make sure all your forms are completed. There's all those head-to-toe assessment forms, and there's what are they called? The ins and outs and the flow sheet, IV flow sheet forms. You want to make sure they're all filled out and put back in the right place. I don't know about you guys, but it drives me crazy when I'm looking for a chart or a clipboard or something, and it's nowhere to be found. It's not in the patient's room. It's not in the chart rack. It's not at the unit clerk. It's not anywhere in the nursing station. You know why? Because someone has taken it and put it somewhere else. And it's really frustrating. So please, at the end of the day, put all your stuff back so everybody can find it and it's easy to find. So those are the only things that I recommend you guys do before you leave. If there's anything I forgot or anything you do before you leave for clinicals, just put it in the comments below and we can all help each other out. So until next time, guys, see you later.